Yo, 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 yo. What is up, YouTube? Let me see if we're rolling. Where can I see it? Here, live. Nice. There's one thing that is super annoying is that I get the chat. Yeah, okay, maybe I do it like this. Wait. Let me see. Yes, so we're here, we're live. Hope if anyone is watching right now, can you type something in the chat so I just know that you're here? Check it like this. Looks like it's live. Okay. Well, it's 11:01. Well, let's begin. Yep, I'm Imbozloy. Hi, Imbozloy. Thanks for letting me know that everything seems to be working. So let's begin. Last time we ended up with something like this. Let me open the project. Move this guy to this desktop. So we got this crossfader example and it was working. However, it had a bit of problems, or like the couple of things that annoyed me. So all of this is kind of like hand built. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to somehow make it so that this UI and these buttons here and this label here would be reusable across different components, because this is how I want to present every technique and example. I want to have a header, I want to have a little bit of description text, I want to have this UI, and it should not be a parameter parameter comp, should be some custom buttons that will look kind of, the look and feel would be consistent. And then a second half of this would be blank, but this would be a part where I would presumably put like a presentation GUI of each of example, if it makes sense. For example, here we need it. So yeah, I want to have it like as a panel comp that will be embedded on the right side of each project. So that's what I want to build today. And first of all, we're going to start with making a small change to this component, because I realized that I don't like that the previous is first and next is second. I think should be next first. Just a small, tiny thing to change. So let's begin by doing this. I'm gonna close this guy. I'm gonna open my quick nav. And so what I'm gonna do on my quick nav, I'm gonna customize the component, and I'm gonna put next one first, and then here we say section no, but here we say section yes. Okay, so that's what we have. That's fine. Yes. Now we're gonna bump up the version to be 0.0 4.3. Close this guy. We're gonna add the change here. The change will say version 0.4.3. Move next. No. Swapped next and previous buttons. Okay, so now we're gonna save the project, file save, and we're gonna save the tox, save component tox in the release. QuickNav release, QuickNav tox. Save, overwrite, yes. Okay, so that's done. Gonna quit this TouchDesigner. Now we're gonna go to the terminal here. Should see two changes. Yes, QuickNav tow and QuickNav tox. Let's say git add all, git commit message, bump QuickNav to version 0.4.3 and push. Okay, that's done. Now we're gonna start a new project. So that's gonna be also in Meta. So we're gonna touch src meta. No, sorry, we don't need to touch. We need to encoder src meta, and the directory will be called presentation comp. Okay, so we're gonna cd yeah, okay, we're just gonna start a new TouchDesigner project and we're gonna save it there. I'm gonna delete everything and save it as a def tdte src meta presentation comp. I'm gonna save it as presentation comp. Save. So this presentation comp will be, first of all, it would be a panel comp. Wait, what? Sorry, container panel. Container comp, yeah, sure. So it's gonna be our presentation comp. Okay. And I guess it will have to take, so the presentation comp would be this guy. I am not sure how to correctly set up the height of it because I want it to be like to take the full thing here, but depending on the screen resolution, it should be adaptable somehow. But let's worry about it a bit later. So we're just gonna start with this, and we're gonna say that it's gonna contain one container that is gonna be called header, and another container that is gonna be called description. Okay, so, and then one more container that is gonna be called QuickNav UI. So that's our structure. And so we're gonna say that this guy should always be me parent par W. No, not me parent W. What is this guy? Me connection container. Let's see. I forgot how to do it. Let me check. There should be something like maybe chat, you know, should be some way of getting like who is my panel comp at the top of the panel hierarchy, panel root. Maybe it's panel root. Let's check. Me panel root. No, it's the same, right? The children panel comps of this operator. Panel parent. The nth panel parent of this operator. If n returns the panel parent if n. Maybe it's panel parent, but I don't think so too. Panel parent. Is it a function? Oh yeah, okay, so now here we go. Panel parent. So it's always gonna be the width gonna be dictated by the topmost most guy here. So that's gonna be our header. Then this is gonna be our description. Let's say that the header is 100 pixel long, just for now. And we're gonna give everyone its own color so that it would be easier for us to understand where everyone goes. So this guy would be, let's say 300 pixels, that's fine. So let's make this guy like 800 for now. So this guy would also be me parent panel parent panel, no? Me panel parent par double. Wait, what? Panel parent, not parent panel. Okay. Panel parent. And I think you don't need you don't need to read the parameter. You can just say with, yes, here too. I don't know what's the difference in this case. Is there any meaningful difference? But a bit more cleaner in my opinion. So this guy is gonna be, let's say, green. And now the quick nav UI. So the quick nav UI is gonna come here. It's gonna be color blue. And it's also gonna be me parent panel, no, panel parent, right? Panel parent with, okay. So now this guy will have to arrange all these three containers. So for that we're saying children, and we're saying that it should arrange them top to bottom without any spacing, and header should go first. So for to rearrange them here, we need to use this align order. So we're gonna say this guy goes at 0, and there's actually a good little advice to use this align order. You can hack it a little bit, but it's a very nice hack. You can say position. No, let's check. So basically the idea is this: we can use our Y position on the current network as a offset. So like that, when you move containers, they will mimic their position, will correspond to their position in the parent, which is nice. So let's look at this, how we can do this. We can say maybe op class would be parent valid passive time text children blah 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 par common flags appearance node height, yeah, node Y. So I guess me node Y. Okay, so this guy is minus 150. This guy, me node Y. The only thing, I guess, it has to be the opposite. So probably, I'm not sure. Let's just check it like this. Minus me that node. So this guy is 175. This is 350, and this guy would be minus me node Y, right? So like this, we can arrange them like this. So we can say that this guy goes first, this guy goes second, this guy goes third. And then we can easily swap it like this, you know, so that's nice, I like it. And it only cooks once, because it only needs to know it one time, and then it's done. So that's nice. This is our presentation component. And now what we're gonna feed it, so the header and the description container will have top in to drive the text. And, oh, sorry, wait. No, it's not text in. It would be actually a dat in. Like this. And then just gonna put a null here. And null, we're gonna say display text. Okay? So now, when we feed this guy some text, let's say header example. Wait, actually, now that I think about it, there is a field comp, isn't there? Or even the text comp, maybe you can you interact with it? Edit mode. Editable. Header. Yeah, maybe that's even better actually for our use case. To make it not a container, but to make it directly text. Let me think about it quickly. Yeah, I think it should be fine. So let's actually replace it then. So we're gonna say this guy is gonna be red, and it's gonna be so the align order would be minus me dot node Y. Okay, this will be me parent panel with panel parent, oh my god, panel parent with, and then just gonna substitute, oops, sorry, hi xbed3d, welcome to the stream, have fun. So this will be our header. I'm gonna delete this guy. I'm gonna say header. I'm gonna delete this guy, we don't need it anymore. So the description would also be a text then. Also editable text. And then we say that the layout is align order is -me.node_y and width is me parent panel width. Oh my god, are you serious? Panel parent. Okay, I'm gonna make this guy green, right? With green. Okay, so that's that. And for the quick nav UI, we're gonna need a quick nav tox. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop it in here, I guess. Let's drop it inside. No, wait, we cannot. We would need, you know what we would need? We would need to provide it because the quick nav would be set up within each project specifically. So we cannot just put a quick nav directly here and ship it with the quick nav inside, because otherwise each project already has their own quick nav components set up inside. So what we need to do instead is we need to here to say, gonna say add a page with parameters. And we're gonna say that this should be, I guess it would be the base comp, right? So it would be in a comp. And we would say here, quick nav path, something like this, add parameter. So this guy will look for a quick nav parameter, and as soon as it gets one, it will call some methods on it. So just for the development, we're gonna drop a quick nav here. Give me a sec. Release, quick nav, boom. Okay, and this guy will have this path. Okay. And so now, actually, I think I know how to make this. So let's say that this guy, actually, wherever we put it, the size, well, didn't make sense. I don't know. Let's see, let's look at the monitor dat. Maybe the monitor dat will help us somehow. So we have two displays. But do we know on which display the TouchDesigner is currently running on? I don't think we have this information, right? Refresh rate, affinity, GPU name, GPU index, DPI scale, serial number, height, width, top, bottom, right, left, primary, index. Is there a... Does anyone know if there is a way to know at which monitor TouchDesigner currently runs? Detect which monitor is TouchDesigner open on. I know it's kind of like unsolvable thing as well, because like you can have multiple TouchDesigner windows, right? One be on one, another. I'm trying to uniquely identify what screen projector is connected to an output. This information should be in the edit. Maybe there's something to it. Let's check it. I'm trying, blah, blah, blah. Not sure. Because you know, what's scary to me is that if I would assume that you always, the TouchDesigner is ran on the primary monitor, then what if it's not? And then these numbers can be way off if I would try to like size my things based on. So let's start here. The problem that I'm trying to solve is that this thing, if I would say this is a panel viewer, and the panel that I'm trying to view is, not project one, but project one / presentation comp. So the problem with this is that I want it to be exactly like half of the screen, so to take up half of the screen. And to do that, it needs to adapt to this size. So this I can live with. I can manually say that, okay, I will adjust it until this is right side, like this. But how do I determine what height is available here? Because if I say it like, I don't know, 347 pixels, what we can do, I think, because look, this guy is 2000 pixel in height, but we have a scale of 2, so it means that 1000 pixels, right? So if I say 1000, yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. Does it? I'm not even sure if it. Not even sure if it matters, to be honest. So let's just keep it 800 as it was for now, and then let's play a bit with these guys. So this guy should be, let's say, like 50 pixels roughly for now. This is header. Let's make it like, I don't know, 100 pixels. And this guy, the description should be, okay, let's say 300. And this guy, quick nav, should be quite small, I think. Maybe like 200 pixels, something like that. And then there's something with the panel that lets you relative UV drag edges to resize. Look, bottom, top, and I get some warning. Invalid path for node project 1 text 2 referenced by parameter component. What? Nice. So I can do this. That's really cool. I also want to do the same here. I have no idea what this warning is about. And this guy, I guess this guy needs to be static. Still, I'm not sure about this total height, but let's just keep it like this for now. So now, okay, so we have this header, and we can so we need to style it a little bit. I want the font, I want to be left aligned first of all, but I don't want it to be like, you know, start at pixel number 0 of its container. I want it to be padded a little bit. I don't know what's the difference, to be honest, between text offset and text padding. Let's say 20 pixels, 20 panel units, which is interesting actually with it. Oh my God, what just happened? No. Oh my God. What happened to this guy? Why when I... Ah, okay, so it... Damn. That's... Okay, whatever. So we have more important things to worry about. Like, for example, what's our font gonna be? First of all, it needs to be bold because it's the header, right? Typeface, bold. And then Verdana should be something. What's the Roboto? Is the good default one? Roboto. Okay, let's stick with this. I think it should be cross-platform, and I think it should ship with TouchDesigner. Okay. Then the font size of 20, I think it's fine for now. Tracking, blah, blah, blah. And then, no, let's actually make it a bit bigger. Let's make it like 25. And this guy would be also Roboto, like this, and it would be 20, and it will be left-centered. And vertical actually also should be top here as well. Vertical. No, this guy, I guess it's, wait, top. No, I guess for this guy is fine to be in the center. But this guy should be offset by 20 pixels and should be as well here offset by 20 pixels, maybe minus 20. Yeah. Okay. So let's just see. Header example with a bigger text to fit. Yes, so first of all we need to say that this guy should wrap. Where's this thing? Multi-line, word wrap. Okay. And now I think I understand. Wait, if I say that this is 0, but I say that this is 20, and I say that from right it should also be padded by 20 pixels. Which means that it will have this like invisible border here and here. So something like this, you see, theoretically, we have a space for one letter more, but because we have this padding thing, it will prevent it, okay? So I'm just gonna say header. And here we would also then say that this should be multi-line that the word wrap should be editable, yes, and the font should be 0 here, 0 here, sorry, but instead it will be 20 here, 20 here, and 20 and 20, yes. So it will not touch the borders exactly, but it will be like within like an imaginary box inside. And here we can say, yeah, my component here we can say example name. Here we can say example description goes here. Okay, and now, you know, I guess it's fine because this guys you can adjust, and this guy would be let's just say that this guy would actually be the sum of this guy's heights. So we would need to get the height we would need to go over each child somehow. Let's see, the container comp, we're looking for something like, I guess, child. Children, a list of operator contained within this operator. Only component operators have children. Let's try. So if I'm gonna say OP, this guy, dot children, empty list, because it only returns the containers that are within it. But we don't want that. We want something else. Passive supported valid. Parent, op ID, digits, space, name. Maybe something with connections. Connection. Inputs. Maybe inputs, let's try. Inputs. Also empty. Goddamn. Input connectors. Also empty. Comp class connection maybe. Here. Input comps. It has no attribute input comps. Because it's all like this. COMPS. What the hell? No, that can be right. Input comps. List of input components to this component through its top connector. List of output components from this component through its bottom connector. Okay, so it's considered an output and not the input. Finally. Okay. So now we're gonna do something like the height is equal to X for Wait, I need to. What I need to say is that how do I sum some elements in list Python? Oh my god, Stack Overflow. I forgot to do it. Sum excess. So what I want to do is something roughly like this. I want to say that I want to have sum of width for op width height for so let's first say that this guy is our list, right? It's our children. Children equals this. So if I type them, yes, that they are. So now I want to say, give me a sum of all the elements in list, and the list we're going to generate on the fly, and the list will contain operator height for operator in children 470. Okay, so what I did here, this is something called list comprehension. So this expression lets you generate a list on the fly. What we need to do is generate a list on the fly where each element would be a number, which is a height of these containers, right? So for that, I'm saying that I have children, which is already a list of operators, but I need to convert this list of operators into the list of their heights, basically, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm creating a list and I'm saying, put in this list operator height for each operator in children. So this is roughly the same as I would say something like this. Heights equals empty list. And then I would say for operator, let's just, I don't want to mess with any potential keywords in TouchDesigner. So for operator in, we said this is called children. What do we want to do? We want to say heights dot append. What do we want to append? We want to append operator height, right? And then if we're going to look at heights, you see that they are. And now if I'm going to say sum heights, it will give me 470, right? So it's the same result as here, but here is just a nicer one-line expression that we can put in this guy. But here is going to be not the children anymore, but it's going to be me output comps. Right? Was output comps? Let me check. Output comps. Yes. And what doesn't it like about it? Output comps. Ah, yeah, of course. Again, this issue. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So this we can edit. This we can edit. And now we need to work on this guy a little bit. So this guy will contain 3 buttons and one text. So let's just do it. We're gonna put a text comp like this, and we're gonna put 3 buttons. Okay, so we're gonna put the text like this. And this guy also would be, this will take the width from its parent. And it will also have a roboto font. It will be locked, be left aligned. Top will have, these guys will be all 20 pixels. I like this number. And this guy would be, let's color it so we can see better what's happening. Give it some this color. No, this is actually a bad idea because it's already taken here. Yes. So this guy would be 40 pixels, let's say. For now. And we also will, let's do this. So we have 3 buttons here, and we're gonna give them the same align order thingy. Oops, sorry, not the name. Align offset. Align order, sorry, not offset. Align order. Align order. This guy is not connected. Oh, sorry. Align order. Okay. So, and this will say that this guy should arrange its children from top to bottom. Yes, like this. And then we're gonna make each button slightly bigger. Let's say it's gonna be 200 pixels. It's so all of them will of course be momentary, not toggle. Okay, so this is 200 pixels, this is 200 pixels, this is 200 pixels, and we're gonna spread them a little bit within the parent. So it's gonna be here, children spacing, something like this, 5. Okay. So here the button would be called next. This guy would be called previous. This guy would be called restart. Okay. What is this color here? That's the color of the button. Okay, that's the color of the button. Let's play with the text itself. So I want it to be Roboto. I want it to be left aligned. With a padding. The padding is controlled from here. Okay. So the padding would be our 20 pixels. Damn, this looks ugly as hell. God damn. So let's do it like this at least. This guy would be Roboto. Well, okay. That's gonna be 15. This guy would also be Roboto. Will also be 15 pixels in size, or 15 whatever in size. And let me just change that back to be center, I guess. Wait, this is center? Yeah, because this is also aligned. Be 3 pixels, 3 panel units. Okay, and then I want to make the color of the text white. Because there's, this stupid thing. Okay, so this will say current and then it will say whatever it's saying here. No navigation points. Well, can I do like this? Look, current plus me par, no, sorry, not me par, it would be op quick nav UI, or no, to be on the safer side, we're gonna say this, because this guy would not be changed and the name theoretically, I don't know, can change. So plus me pen par quick nav path dot eval par current. Okay, so now let's just check quickly if I'm gonna add one. This is also changing. Okay, cool. So that's working. Now I really wish I would see that UI design course through when I was taking it, like, I don't know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. But that would definitely come in handy. We can put this guy and say that it will have a border on top. Like this. Okay, so that looks bit better, but I'm not happy with the buttons, obviously. And I really don't want to spend too much time doing buttons design. So instead, maybe we'll reach out for UI components. Lister, basic widgets, button momentary. See. Let's try this guy. So we say here next. Here we say previous. And here we'll say restart. Okay. I'm gonna give it the same parameters. So, the align order, layout. Oh, they have something by default actually there. Look, 20,000 minus not y. Okay, makes sense. I wonder if it's leftover from when they were programming these components and then just disabled it and then saved it like this. So I'm gonna replace this guy with this guy, this guy with this guy, this guy with this guy. Okay. So let's keep working on it. I want the font size to be a bit bigger, like 15. This also. Oh, let's focus on the one first. Was width somewhere? Yes. So this guy. Okay, let's just do something like this. Let's just say that this guy should also be like this size. Okay. Yes. And the height would be 30 pixels. And then the button width should be me par w, right, minus let's say 40 minus 100. Okay. I'm going to delete these two guys because it's going to be simpler just to copy paste this the existing one. Okay, so Control C, Control V, Control V, right? This will be previous. and this will be restart. Okay, and this should be a bit wider. It's gonna be 80, 80, and 80. Yeah, okay. That's fine. And then we can, if we need to, we can resize these guys. So now we just need to finish the functionality for this thing. So these guys are, we don't need them anymore. Put the guys here. We're gonna say that this is current text. Say next pref and restart. Okay. Then what I wanted to, yeah, now we need to wire it, of course. We need to wire it to this calls. So I wonder where's the values on value change on to off script 0. I'm gonna say the something like this. Where was the thing that we used? Yes. So look, what we're gonna say is something like this. So whenever this button is being pressed, reach for the get panel parent, which means this guy, right? Then read its quick nav path parameter, this guy, and whatever is in this quick nav, evaluate it. So say get the operator that it points to, right? Not just a string name. And then once you got it, you take its parameter that is called next, and and pulse it. Yeah, I think it should work like this. So let's check. Oops, sorry. Okay, if I now wait, on to off script. What the hell is going on? Oh my god. I think it worked, like maybe it cooks. On to, wait, should it be off to on? Yeah, I guess it should be off to on script. Actually, let's try. Okay. What the hell? Why is this? So this obviously works somehow. You see, even the current keeps. That's funny. Oh man. I'm doing something wrong, but I'm not sure what. Ah, yeah, of course, because it wants me to put a reference to the thing that it will need to execute, not the script itself. So if I say here text that, and I will put my thing here, but it will be not me anymore. Okay, for now we're just gonna say up next. Right, so if I put this guy next script, if I put this guy here, and I'm gonna say that this will be your off-to-on script. So now when I press this, it gives me an error. The hell? Error. The error is invalid syntax. Results of run operation resulted in exception. But what exception? Let me try like this. If I just run this script. Yeah, it works actually. The script works. But what? Off to on script. Ah, because it's, oh wait. Op next script. Yeah. Maybe, no, but that's, guys, does anyone know what's going on? Why it's not happy? Create edit value par execute. Let's try. On value change, on polls, on expression change. Okay, I guess we can work with this guy instead. So we're gonna say, we're gonna copy all of this and we're gonna put it, where's this? Ah, here. We're gonna put it on polls. So I'm gonna delete this guy, don't need it. And nothing happens. Oh man. Wrap it in op.text. Really? Wait, are we even getting here? Print here. No, it's not executed. Why is it not executed? Value par execute. What about this guy? Print here too. expression t. Okay, this guy works. But this the polls, no? On value changed, on values changed, on polls, on expression, on expert, on enable, on mode. Okay, on value changed. Use par eval to get current value. So I'm gonna say if int par eval equals 1, print clicked. Okay, clicked, 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 clicked. Okay, nice. So now, where's our guy? Control C. Put it here, and here we can say instead me, we can say par.owner, I think. Yes, now it works. Cool. But just out of curiosity, let's try something else. Let's try, so you said wrap it, keep on thumping, said wrap it in op.text. Do you mean like this? If I say op next script.text? But that doesn't make sense. Now it just gives me this thing directly there. Yeah, okay, anyway. So this works. Now, here, button, widget, op, values. Create this guy here, and create this guy here. And this will copy. Okay, put it here. But instead, we're gonna call, of course, previous. Okay, works. And here, we're gonna say parameter is gonna be restart. Nice. Okay, so that works. Just dock these guys here, here, and here. We don't need this thing anymore. Okay, and if I say here, if I'd say clear, do I not have a clear? Okay. Current no navigation points. Okay, nice. So now we can save it. Now the monitors we don't need. Save it. And now we're gonna package it. Wait, I'm thinking, how can we release it now? Yeah, I think we need to actually make it all. God damn it. Maybe we can cheat a bit. We can say, we can create another container. Because we need, in the end, we want to drag and drop just a single container, right? And the way I did it, it's the hierarchy, but it's all like flat hierarchy. They are not inside of each other. So I need to put all of them inside each other, or at least inside one centralized place. So I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna Control X. I'm gonna Control V here. And then it's gonna be a bit ugly, but this guy would be me parent width but this guy would be op how is it called? Presentation comp. Presentation comp dot height. And so like this, it's probably, I don't know if it's gonna be buggy or not. But let's see. So we're gonna call it also presentation comp. Okay, and so we're gonna save it, file save. We're gonna give it needs to have a parameter. The parameters would be comp and would be quick nav path. Okay, and then this guy can go here, and we're gonna drop it in this guy, and this guy will say that this will be hard-coded to be me parent par quick nav path. Okay, so this fixes all of these guys. And now here we have invalid path for node project/container text1 referenced by parameter component. By parameter component. Where's the parameter component? Reference by parameter component. Ah, here. Component. Me. What does this guy do? Actually, component. Component. Enabled by choosing the component option from the reposition parameter. Specify the path to the panel component you would like to reposition by mouth. What? Enabled by choosing the component option from the reposition parameter. Do I have it enabled somewhere? But it's disabled now. Component. Here's disabled first. No. Ah, but there's two different components. Resize component. So I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay. resize component. Wait, I'm on which page again? Panel page. Panel page. Resize, 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 constraint, click, relative, drag edges to resize. Maybe it's here somewhere. Drag component, repo comp. Repo comp. There's nothing about resize component. God damn it. For checkbox to size a panel by grabbing the corresponding edge of corner. Well, I guess like logically it should say like which, when like you want to drag edges of which component to resize this component, and by default it of course me, like I want to resize by dragging my own borders. I don't know. Okay, so like that it should work. Let's just give it a quick version. We're gonna add page. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna call it misc. And on this page we're gonna have one string, and the string will say version. And the string will be read-only, and the value would be 001 for now. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. From the parameters, I'm just gonna delete this guy. Here, I'm gonna say or. No, it doesn't work like this. Okay. That's for now. I would say it's fine. I don't care about this not working properly, because in any case this this would be embedded in every project that I share, and there it will look fine, and on its own I don't expect people to use it. So sorry, it's gonna be file, save. And we're gonna save component tox as well. We're gonna create a folder here in the presentation comp. We'll call it release. Create. And we're gonna call it presentation comp.tox. Yes, save. Okay, so now let's see what we have here. If we go to src meta presentation comp, and I'm gonna say here we're gonna add the git ignore. Wait, I think the global git ignore already ignores the backup folder, right? Cat git ignore. Yes, the backup is already ignored, so that means I can just git add all, git commit message, worked on, say finished working on, how did I call it? Presentation comp version 001. Okay, and we're gonna push it. So now we can implement it in our crossfader project. src video playback, crossfader toe. Okay, so this guy can just get the hell out of here. The GUI, where's the GUI? So this guy we would still need. But this guy we will delete. And we will drop let's update this guy. Okay, so we updated this guy. Let's run this guy. Okay, that's done. Next. I mean, it doesn't matter strictly speaking because we anyway not gonna access this directly. We're gonna access it through the UI, but still. So presentation component, release, presentation talks, drag and drop it here. We're gonna say that quick nav path is this. Okay, where was this guy? Okay, there's this guy. And now we're gonna combine them to a single container that's gonna be called GUI. Okay. And now we're gonna do it like this, right? So this guy is 400 pixels. I'm just gonna do this guy would be, let's say 800 for now. And gonna align its children top to bottom. Okay, we're gonna copy this this layout thingy from here. Reason why I'm not number one, I like it. Okay. So now I'm gonna say we want to look at project 1/GUI. So this guy should be a bit bigger, like this. Let's say 600. And we're gonna center the kids on the horizontal. Well, okay, that's fine. And I'm gonna call this crossfader. And the explanation would be here. So this demonstrate a technique of crossfading between multiple videos. Demonstrate technique of smooth crossfading between multiple videos. You can press next, previous, and restart to navigate the network and learn how the component works. Something like this. Okay, and I just want to probably do it left aligned, not center. And I just wanted to offset it a little bit to the right, like this. Okay, yeah, something like this. I mean, not the prettiest thing ever, but it'll do, I think. So now you can do this, 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 this. Yeah, it's not ideal. That I would like it to be look a bit more zoomed in. But I mean, better than nothing. And we're gonna kill the parameters. Okay, I think we're finally done with the crossfader. There's one more thing that bothers me that I would like to add. Unfortunately, it's a bit annoying how you should add it, but you can see here. You see, I made the code block, or like the function name, in green. It would be nice to, yeah, to keep doing it like this, like to emphasize certain words with colors, so they would stick out a bit more. But yeah, maybe it's something for next time, or yeah, let's see. Okay, so that's done. Let's just one last time we check it. So when you start the project from the beginning, let's start in here. File, save. This logic still works. Okay, and we're gonna file, save it, quit it. I'm gonna open it one more time, and hopefully it will look nice. Next, 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 next. You know what, actually, now that I think about it, what if this text here would actually be pasted here every time we jump? Like, that would make so much more sense, right? You jump and it shows you the text description, like what you're looking at right now. You're looking at the playback logic, and boom, here it is. You're looking at this guy, crossfader, and here it is. Looking at this guy, If this is the annotation comp, does it have like a text? It has width, extension. Oh no, it's such a shame. Why? Oh my God. No, wait, no. So this is annotate comp. Yeah, the title text and the body text, I can actually put it here every time I jump. I think that might be nice, actually. What do you guys think? Because this zoom thing, if it would be like this, I wouldn't have any problems with that. Okay, but I think it's fine for now like this. So I'm going to push it. And today I also wanted to quickly work on something else, on another example. That would be called cd src. cd src, I'm going to make dir and call it we had like a video playback, right? Let's create extensions. In the cd extensions, I'm gonna make dir, and we're gonna call it params to extension. Okay, let me just remember how is the how this guy is organized, the GitHub repo. So when it goes src, there's no readme here, but on the video playback we have it. Okay, so boom. Then it means that I have to, in the extensions, we're gonna touch readme md. Now we're gonna go to the root, we're gonna open Vim, we're gonna video playback. I'm gonna say readme of the extensions. Paste it here. Various techniques an example related to working with extensions in TouchDesigner. Crossfader. I called it params to ext. Params to ext. Actually, we also need to update the README for the video thingy. So params to ext demonstrates a simple technique of routing parameter interactions to corresponding extension method calls. Okay, so that's done. Let's go here and we gonna commit git add src video playback. Oh wait, why? Yes, but what about another readme that I just edited? Why I didn't save? Weird. Okay, git add src video playback readme.md git commit message removed outdated to do entry git push. And now, yeah, so far so good. We can also commit this guy. Started working on param to act. How did I call it? Param to ext. Params to ext example. Okay, so this guy is gonna be a quick and simple one. Let's build it. So we're gonna create a new TouchDesigner project. So, and we're gonna have custom base or custom component. Let's just gonna call it params to ext. Okay, this is gonna be our like base starting point, and we're gonna create here our custom base. Okay, and then we're gonna have here in this custom base we'll have parameters page, and on this parameters page we're gonna have, let's say, like a pulse, and the parameter name is going to be, let's say, activate. Okay. Then we're going to have, say, an integer here, and we're going to say something like value. Okay. Then we're going to have something like, why not, by string, and we're going to say name. And we're going to have a menu. It's called options, I don't know. Okay, label 1, label 2, label 3, for now it's okay. Yeah, and that's, I don't think if we need more than this, why not toggle, toggle. Okay, so this is your like typical custom parameters. Now, what you need to do oftentimes is that this parameters should do something on the extension, right? So first of all, we're going to create this extension. So we're going to call it custom base ext. Okay, we're going to add it. We're going to go here. We're going to save this file. We're going to save it to our projects, TE, SRC, extensions, param to ext. We're going to create folder scripts. Okay, and in the scripts, we're going to custom base ext.py. Save, and we're going to reference it back. we're gonna sync to it. Okay, and now we can look at it here. Ext custom base ext. We don't need any of this, and we don't need any of that. Okay, pass. Okay, so now we're gonna create, so for each this guy, we're gonna create a function, a method. So we're gonna say def on pulse self print on pulse pressed. So of course we're not gonna do any actual logic in here. We're just gonna print some stuff just to see it works. There's one thing. Notice that I'm typing the names from the lower case, and I will explain why later. Then we'll say on value self, and in this case the value would be an integer, right? And then val of type int. And here we will print, we'll say on value called with val equals val. Okay. We can say base comp. I'm not sure if we actually need it right now or not. Then name, def on name self, and then name would be of type string, and we would say here print f on name called with name equals name. Okay. Options and toggle. Def on options self, and here I don't know what would be. I guess it would be also a string option str print f on option called with option equals option. Finally, def toggle on toggle self value will be, I think it will be a boolean probably, and then we'll say here print f on toggle called with toggle equals val. Okay, val is not accessed. Why is it not accessed? Ah, sorry, because it should be like this. Okay, so that's our whole functionality. Remove this guy. So now, we have these methods. And now what we need to do is we need to wire our parameters, these guys, to the calls to that extension. How do we do that? There's three ways we can do it, and they get progressively better. So one very simple method, in any case, of course, you will use parameter execute. And the operator would be me parent. You will react to any custom parameter, and we will care about two things: value change and on pulse, right? Because currently I think it's fine. We have one pulse button that we will have for the pulse reaction, and then every other one will just gonna react on their value change. So we're gonna, let's just also externalize it. Save contents. I'm gonna call it par to ext.py. Gonna save it. We're gonna put it back in. I'm gonna sync to it, and we're gonna edit it. Par to ext.py. So we don't need this. Ah no, I think we need it. So just to focus, I'm gonna delete these guys here. For now, we don't need it. On export, on expression, on enable, on mode. We don't worry about it for now. What we're gonna worry about it is this guy, and we're gonna need to do this and this, because otherwise we'll be hit with this inconsistent use of tabs and spaces error. So what we need to do first version looks like this. We're gonna say if par.name equals pulse, then we were gonna say me parent extensions 0 on pulse. And I'm not sure if it's the right syntax. We'll check it. So let's see if it works. We have this parameter execute that execute on, we're going to say any parameter, right? The star means match any parameter. And we're going to say open parent parameters to be able to interact with it. And we're also going to split this guy, and we're going to make this one a text port. I'm going to move it a bit to the right side. I'm going to clear it, and we're going to press pulse. Nothing happens because, again, no, sorry, pulse. Because the par name, I guess, is not pulse. Ah, yeah, the par, sorry. Is it everywhere the C or only in the first one? Options. Yeah, okay. So we need to quickly rename it. Customize parent component. This guy would be called pulse. On pulse pressed. You see? Now, one thing that I wanted to mention, let's go back here. Let's split this guy and let's look at the extension. Where is it? Custom, yeah, custom-based extension. You see here, typically, TouchDesigner wants you to name the methods like this. And this corresponds here to this promote extension. Promote. What it means is that if you have your extension promoted, then you should be able to call the methods that are starting with the capital letter. You can call them with a simplified syntax. So look, I have this guy, like for example, on value is start with the lower letter, right? So it means that I cannot call something like this. I cannot say OP custom base on value with 1, for example. You see, td base com object has no attribute on value because it's not an attribute, right? It doesn't consider it to be an attribute. But the promote, what it does, it says, okay, if this is enabled and you have a method that starts with a capital letter, I'm gonna let you treat it as if it was an attribute. So here, if I'm saying on pulse, you see, I can directly call it. But if I want to call on value still, I would have to do a bit more syntax. So I have to get this operator, then I would have to reach its extensions object, like a list of all extensions. And I know that in this case, it's 0 extensions, the 0th extension. And now I can call on value 1. You see, now it works. The reason why I do it like this is simply just one thing, is that normally a function name in Python, they should be lowercase. It's just a common, how do you say it, like a common arrangement in Python, right? This is how we usually, I think also common to have actually functions be like snake case, if I'm not mistaken. We can check it, but we can say something like pep8 method name guide. According to pep8, variable and function name should be written in lowercase and separated by underscore, which is called snake case, right? So this is what we're doing here. We're following the Python convention. Yeah, that's what the word I was looking for. So this is the convention, how you should name your methods according to pep8, which is like the Python official style guide. But because of this promotion, you are forced to use this, which is a bit ugly, in my opinion. And so since we only care to write it once, only here, I don't worry about it being slightly longer syntax. I mean, if you need some parameters to which you want to access outside of the component, yeah, you can use the capital letter promoted type syntax. But for us, I'm gonna stick with this. Okay. So back to our example. This is one way of doing it. Now, this is ugly because, or this is problematic at least, because it has, imagine you have 100 parameters. What you will have to do here, you will say elif par name equals, I don't know, something else. And then me parent extensions 0 on something else. And you see, right, the problem with it is that now you have a third one and you need to say again .par.name equals blah. Okay, in this case, actually in Python, I believe this is not crucial to have this parentheses here, so we can get rid of them. Me parent extensions 0 on blah. And you will just keep going like this. That is one way of doing it. Actually, just to be I'm thinking about something. We're gonna annotate it. So we're gonna say, oops, wait a second, right? One most natural approach to wiring parameters to, oh guys, sorry, I need to sneeze. So, one most natural approach to wiring parameters to corresponding methods in the extension is to do a big if-elif chain over every possible parameter name. This gets very verbose and this scales poorly because you need to do a lot of typing, plus you okay, that's enough for now. So I'm gonna comment this. I'm gonna delete this. Now we're gonna write next one, next example. Since Python somewhere, you now have a match case syntax. So you can do something like this. You can say match par.name. And I need to remind myself, match syntax Python. Yes. And then we can say that there should be, yes, should be colon. And then we can say case pulse me dot parent. We can copy this guys here. Basically, it will be almost the same, right? But instead of saying this, we will simplify it with just saying case. And this will also substitute with case. Right? So that's how it can also look. Second version, a bit less noisy, but the principle and the downsides are exactly the same. And let me actually put it in here. Okay, and now I'm going to show you a better way of doing it. And the better way of doing it would be, give me a second. I don't remember the exact syntax, but I remember that I used it in my component. So let me just quickly look it up again, how I did it there. In the quick nav I did it. Because I needed, you know, to wire all of this to corresponding method call in the extension. And I did first on the stream, I did like a big if-else thing over it. And wait a second. Yeah, I did a big if-else thing over it, and then I was like, wait, there has to be a better way. And I remember I did it in the past, but I didn't remember exactly how I did it before. But this is how it looks like. So let's copy it and paste it here. So look what happens here. Sorry. So we're taking me_parent as a target, and then we're taking the method name, which is always gonna be there. That's the one downside of this method, is that you have to be like your your method name should always correspond to the button name. So they should have some kind of like common root or something like common word that would let you identify, that will let you do this automatic mapping. Because if your parameter called pulse and your method is called someone pressed pulse, and then your other method calls something else and the corresponding extension method calls something else, then of course you would have to do this manual routing. Like this button name resolves to this method, that button name resolves to this method. But if you just make this one rule saying that, okay, whatever my button name is or whatever my parameter name is, the corresponding method name would be called on, you know, and it's a common like callback prefix to have, you know, like on button pressed, on Windows resized, on blah blah blah, you know. So that's not like super ugly or doesn't make any sense at all, you know. It makes sense kind of. So this is one thing that you have to do beforehand, and then everything else is a smooth sail from there on. So third version gets how you call it, takes advantage of Python get utter method. This method lets you inspect lets you get an attribute of the class by its name. The attribute can be instance member variable as well as methods. This approach requires you to have some agreed upon naming between your parameter names and corresponding method name. Typical pattern looks something like on parameter name or on parameter something like this. Parameter name. Yes. So this is an example, and we're gonna implement it here. So look. Let's start with the pulse. And we're going to say that target equals me parent. In this case would be extensions 0 because we're targeting directly the extensions of the parent. Okay, so this is target. Method name would be, in our case, on. You know, just to make it even more clear, you know, we would say method name prefix. And that would be, in our case, on plus underscore, right? So this is prefix of every method that corresponds with the parameter name. Okay, so this is the prefix, and then now method name would be method name prefix, and then par dot name lower, right? Because the parameter names, they start from the capital letter, we need to lowercase this first letter. So this will gonna be our method name. And now the method actually would be a call to get attribute. It needs a target from where we need to get this attribute. And in this case, it's gonna be our extension, this custom base extension, right? Okay, the target is there. The method name, what should be the method name? The method name should be this guy, right? It will be on plus parameter name, which will be pulse in our case. So it'll be on pulse. That's the method name. And then the third one is what is default return value when it cannot find anything. And we're just gonna pass none. So now we got this method. Now we need to call, now we need to check if it's a real actual function that exists. For this, we have another function that is called callable. So it takes a method and it returns true if this is actually a method, or it returns else, it returns false basically, in case it's not an actual valid method that we can call. In this case, so if it is a method, all we need to do is add the parentheses. This is the way of calling the function in Python, right? And if it's not callable, then we will debug and say that custom-based extension, this is our target, has no method name. Okay, so that's it. And then let's check if it works. So on polls, yes. Let's see. You see? On polls pressed. And the only thing I think I forgot, yes, I need to change it here as well. Polls, on value, on name, on option, on toggle. This guy I need to remove. Okay. So that's that. And now look, let's add a new button and we say, oh, we forgot actually. Let's call it, let's make it a pulse again, just for simplicity, and we're gonna call it wrong. When I press wrong, you see, project 1 params 2x custom base ext object at blah 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 has no method on wrong. And debug is fired from par execute 1 on polls line 63. Cool. We can actually say, we can make it more user-friendly by saying that not the target, but me.parent, I think. Let's try. Yeah, project 1 params 2x custom base has no method on wrong, you see. But on polls pressed. So that's one thing, and now we need to do something very, very similar, but a bit different here. So we also will have the target being me parent extension 0. We can even put it here on top as a common, as like a global variable for this function, but it's fine. Method name still will be on. Prefix, I mean method name, will still be this guy. Method will be get attrib blah blah blah. If callable method equals method. And now the thing that we need to pass here is we need to say par here. So we're gonna say, to get the actual value, you need to use par eval. So we say par.eval. Okay, let's try it out. Hello. On name called with name hello. On option called with option name 2. On toggle called with toggle equals true. The value with value 0. You see? We can even go further. And we can, actually let's delete this guy because we're gonna give it a function. So we're gonna say def get method, right? And it will take, what will it take? Actually, it doesn't need to take anything, I think. And it returns, I guess it's callable, the return type. Return. So, because this code is actually exactly the same. So target is gonna be me parent extension, prefix is going to be on, method name is going to be the same for everything, method will be getAttr, right? And then we're just going to return it. So we're going to return the method, and it might be null actually, right? Return method. And this will be then, I guess, callable or null. I don't remember the exactly, something like this. Unexpected indentation. Why is it unexpected? Is it because this goes here? Yeah, okay. Let's just do it like this. So here we can say method equals, no, of course we need something to pass here. We need to say, we need to pass in the parameter, because of course how can we know which functions to call if we don't know which parameter we're calling first? So we need to say method equals get method with a parameter like this. Here we also say like this, and this guy we then don't need anymore. Okay, let's see if this is still working. Yes, it works. And in some cases here, you can also, if you see here, you can have actually two arguments in value change, par and any. Currently, we're only evaluating par. We don't do anything with any, but this you can do it too. You know, you can just add it in your functions, and if there's anything, you can just ignore it in the function body, or you can do something with it. Yeah. So that's it. The quick nav we don't need. Custom base. We're gonna show here. We're gonna show yes. So we're gonna say we're gonna put panel. We're gonna create a parameter panel. And we're gonna point it to this base, right? We're gonna look at it, and we're gonna say that we want to show, we don't want to show built-in, guys. We want to show custom page scope, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's fine. So we're gonna show here a panel, gonna be called parameters 1, and wait, why doesn't it show? Okay, and we're gonna subdivide it one more time. And in here, we're gonna show the text port and dats. So you press here, name, method name is not defined. Actually, I don't like it. Line 55, that's not right. Line 55 is not defined. 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 Line 55 if callable method. Yeah, it's a bit, then makes this a bit ugly. Well, then let's say it has no method corresponding to var.name. var.name. Okay, let's try again. Custom base has no method corresponding to wrong, right? And this is wrong. On pulse, on value, on hello, blah, blah, blah. Everything looks good. Make a bit more space here. I'm gonna close the parameters. We're gonna go here, and this is how we're gonna save this guy. And actually, yeah, that's as I mentioned before, sometimes I start doing something and then I completely look, I have never even saved this once. So this is gonna be params to ext, params to ext.to save. Okay, let's open it just to make sure that everything is good. TD, TE, SRC, extension. Pulse wrong. Cool. Go back here. Finished building. Ta-da! That's it, guys. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, I'm gonna think what to work on for the next week. I'm gonna do an announcement again, as I do usually midweek, as I make up my mind. And yeah, see you next Sunday. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.